The National 7 side did not have a spectacular season as compared to last season, a season where they bagged the main cup, of course, at the Singapore Sevens. The head coach, Innocent Simiyu, did speak to KTN about how the season unfolded. Yeah. So Simiyu, 15 years playing for Kenya as a player, of course, 121 appearances, 321 points. But, your stint as a coach the first season, not so rosy. Probably describe that season to us.
If you look at the interest of Kenyans in regards to the performance of the team, and also the rugby fraternity by extension is quite huge. So for me, the first year was quite interesting. There are a lot of challenges, a lot of learnings that we have gotten. And for us, the key thing going to the World Cup here is now how do we quickly transition and execute for the next season. For a player, it's quite easy. It's more you. You actually decide your fate. So the more hard work you put, the more effort you put around your game, it more or less determines how you play. Whereas for a coach, is more dealing with the whole structure. How do you get your guys to fire the first time, and how do you build your brand of play based on your philosophy? And for us, this year was quite key on that, just to get in the philosophies in.
What's your philosophy?
For us, mine is more about pressure and consistently applying that pressure while we express ourselves in an expansive and expressive game.
And that philosophy, did it really work? Did it not work?
I think for us, it worked by a large extension. We didn't just get the results that we wanted. If you look at the number of opportunities we have created, we were even averaging at some point around 8 clear chances per game. So our conversion rate was very low, and we ended up getting 2 or 3 tries.
You took the team at the beginning of the season, of course, the team at position 7. You left it at the 12th position at the end of the season. You know why?
It's easy to look at the end results and say that the team was 7th and it deteriorated. We are dealing with most of the players who were not first choice last year. So ideally we have more or less a new team. It takes time to build structures and a team to gel. Most of the key players who played last season, who actually played a lot of the time in terms of last season, were injured or some were unfit.
And, reports and, of course, rumors that the directors had a hand in who you picked to play for Kenya at the various legs. Are they true? Are they not?
I've heard so many stories. I will not lie to you. I have heard many stories. And maybe I can say without a doubt there's been no interference. What I can say, maybe to educate most of the people who have been raising I've had a lot of fake news, some fake stories, and of course with the popular press, you'll always pick on those issues quite quickly. So for us, one of the key things that I did when I came in is to put a structure of selection, and it's documented very clearly on how we select players. Yeah. How players are selected from the club, with the selectors, and the things that they look at. Yeah, let me just start from the things that they look at, then I can also link it with how the selectors come in. So for our selection, the first priority is health, and that is led by the team doctor and the physio. And the players must pass that before we consider them for selection. So they must be fully fit in terms of health-wise. Once we've done with health, we come to the environment, basically in terms of attendance to training, in terms of conduct, discipline. So we look at that, and that is led by the team manager. Then after that, we come to the conditioning of the player. The SNC now leads that part.
Would you love to address calls for you by a section of fans to resign? Are you resigning? Are you staying put?
I think maybe perhaps it's up to you to answer that, because I am not the one who appoints a coach. I gave a plan in regards to how we change the game. I was very clear in regards to the first year. We had expected that there would be a sort of dip in performance. We have to know that our game has not been built on sustainable structures. So the key thing for us was to set the structures in terms of player management, in terms of how we operate in the environment. Then from there we can use that as a springboard so that we can be sure in terms of performance.
A few things that you think the union didn't do right last season, and maybe what you would be asking from the union for you to be able to succeed this season?
I don't know if it's possible to talk about your boss as you're mentioning, but I believe the game, to be honest, the game needs a lot of improvement in terms of how we operate, and that's why I'm saying this year was very key for us in terms of setting the structure straight, something that we can use as a platform to go forward. If we set the structures well this year and put in the right strategies in terms of how we approach the different challenges, then I think we'll be quite
Innocent,
okay.
What do you need from the union?
No, of course, putting up the structures, the equipments and all those things which we are working on. Right now, I may not be in a position to say everything as in conclusion, because there are a lot of talks which are happening right now on the back.
Highlight to us, what were your biggest challenges for the season?
We cannot be saying that we will be coming or assembling 3 or 4 weeks to a World Series 7 tournament and expect results. We have to have sustainable structures. And the key for us being our foundation year, because we are looking also at 2020 and we're looking at next year World Cup, is that we must expose enough players to be able to play at that level. If we expose more players, what does that mean? It means ideally you also dilute your quality a bit.
The previous season, that's a boat that has already sailed. What should fans look forward to next season, and what are your realistic targets as a coach?
So leading to Safari Sevens, the key thing for us is that we are going to start with the active off-season basically, where we try and do cross-sectional sports and such to just try and upskill the players a lot, get in some adaptation, some general strength, sort out some imbalances in terms of skill, so in terms of muscle and such things. And then we start our proper pre-season from 1st of August, where we're going to condition them, we're going to upskill them. As I said, I think the national team should be comfortably, if the structures are set well, to be able to play above 100 points.
The national 7